Welcome to this video. My name's Gaynor from FitFish, and today I'm talking about why you eat more when you're stressed. Now, some of you might be going, I don't eat more when I'm stressed, but most of you do. So 2/3 of people actually eat more when they're stressed. I'm going to share my screen in a moment and explain a little bit why, but I'd love to know if you're one of the people who eat more when you're stressed and what kind of food you go for, or whether you're one of these people who doesn't eat more when you're stressed. And there are different kinds of stresses, I know that, and we'll go into that a little bit, but I just want to give you a little bit of an explanation why you eat more when you're stressed, because when we're armed with that information, like anything, we can then make choices and decisions to do something about it if we want to. So I'm just going to share my screen with you and hopefully you can see this. Here we go. So if you were to meet a lion as you're walking down the road, as you do, what would happen? Would you stop and take a picture, or would you run away? You would probably run away unless you had some kind of safety around you. So when we're faced with stress, our body goes into a kind of fight or flight mentality in a fight or fight situation. And what happens is, and our body doesn't know that our stresses aren't a lion. If you're stressed, your body will be responding in such a way that there is a lion right in front of you. So you've got the stressor, and your appetite actually decreases. If you're in a real emergency situation, your appetite will decrease because your body is concentrating on sending blood and energy to other areas. So the last thing on your mind when you're faced with a lion will be, I want a snack, or where's my next meal, or I'm hungry. You'll just need to run, and your body will shut down everything that's non-essential. So your appetite will actually go down, and you'll start utilizing the energy that's already stored in your body. So your appetite gets suppressed and your energy storage gets mobilized. So when you're not stressed anymore, or after the stress, the opposite happens. Your appetite increases and you block energy from being used, and you store nutrients in the bloodstream. So you stop utilizing the energy that's in your body, and you start needing to take it in again, and your appetite therefore increases and you get more nutrients in. So during this process, there are two hormones that are involved. You've got the CRH hormone, which increases appetite, which suppresses appetite, sorry, she says a suppressive appetite. So that suppresses your appetite. And then you've got glucocorticoids, which increase your appetite. Okay, so that stimulates your appetite. So you've got those two hormones going on when you're stressed. And usually what happens is when the glucocorticoid is released, you actually crave things like starchy, sugary, or full of fat foods. So it'll be interesting to hear what kind of things you crave when you're stressed, because glucocorticoid will make you crave those kind of foods. So why can't we just find a tablet that has CRH in it? So our hormones encourage us to suppress our appetite. Well, you wouldn't want to live with that level of CRH in your bloodstream for long, because it has lots of ill effects. Both of these hormones are secreted when we're stressed. So it's actually the timing that's important rather than the hormones themselves, or perhaps the fact that you're getting stressed. It's the timing, and it's how long it lasts for. So the CRH, the hormone that suppresses your appetite, the effects are felt within seconds. If you see a lion and you're going to run away, then immediately your body starts releasing this hormone and you are not hungry. It's the last thing on your mind. But with glucocorticoids, this can take anything from minutes to hours to be released. Okay, so you've got these two different hormones going on, but they're cleared in the same way. So CRH is cleared within seconds when the stress is no longer there, but glucocorticoids take minutes to hours to clear. So you probably see where I'm going with this. So if you have a truly, truly stressful experience for 10 minutes, some kind of emergency happens for 10 minutes and your heart's in your mouth and it's a very, very stressful situation, what will happen is the CRH is released quickly, lasts for 10 minutes, and the glucocorticoids are released slightly afterwards, but then the effect of that lasts for longer. So the ultimate effect of that 10 minutes of truly stressful experience is an increased appetite. If you have a truly stressful few days, someone's in hospital, someone's at the end of their life, there's a real emergency going on for a few days, then this will be less obvious because they will kind of even out a little bit. The CRH will be released quickly and the glucocorticoids slightly afterwards, but they'll both kind of drop off at the same time. And so your appetite is suppressed for that period of time, and it might not even increase for a long time afterwards because the glucocorticoids have been kind of released and they diminish at the same time. So this explains why when you're going through a loss or something that happens over a longer period of time that's truly, truly stressful, sometimes people do lose their appetite. But what happens is often the stress we're referring to is this constant low level stress. So this is when you've lost your car keys, you can't find them, you're going to be late for work, oh now you've got a deadline looming, oh you've got to go and pick something up and you haven't got time to do it, so you come back again and you haven't got time to eat properly, so you rush to the shop and grab something, rush back again to your desk, and then the kids are whining and being really annoying and blah, 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 blah. So you've got those low level stress going on all the time. So what happens is the CRH is getting released, then it's getting suppressed, released, suppressed, released, suppressed, and the glucocorticoid never has a chance to clear from your system. So you have this constant need to eat, because the glucocorticoid is encouraging you to do so. I hope that makes some kind of sense. So this is our problem, really. So the reason that most of us eat more during stress is because in the Western world, we have the capacity to have more intermittent psychological stresses throughout the day. Because in some other places in the world, the things that stress us out would just not be a stress at all. When you're worried about where your next meal is coming from, when you're in a life and death situation, you're not worried about where your car keys are. You're not worried about those kind of things. You're not worried that you got a little bit of extra work. But the world we live in and the areas in society that we live in, we've got this capacity to have this intermittent stress throughout the day, and that's what leads to increased appetite. So what's the solution? What do we do about it? Well, if we can stop being as stressed, that would be wonderful. So if you could look into ways to mitigate your stress levels, those kind of lower levels of stress, through exercise, relaxation, energization, time with friends, time doing hobbies that you enjoy, even breathing, going out for walks, then that will help to suppress your appetite. Of course, if you're experiencing the more traumatic stress, then that hopefully is only temporary, but do get some help and support for that. But I just thought I'd jump on and share why our appetite increases when we're stressed, and why when we have these normal kind of stresses that we face in the Western world going on all the time, why we can feel that our appetite has increased, and why we feel like we're always reaching for sugary, starchy snacks. There are things that we can do in the way that we eat as well that will help to mitigate that. So not always going for the sugary, starchy types, but going for proper meals and proper snacks. That will help too. But let me know what happens to you. Does your appetite increase? Does it decrease? I'd love to know. Okay, and take care. Oh, don't forget, if you want to de-stress a little bit by doing some lovely stretching exercises, whilst I share a little thought about the Bible and from God, just for 10-15 minutes. And we now have stretch and soul sessions, which are once a week live, but also available recorded, and they're available for FitFish for a $5 members. So if you'd like to join FitFish for a $5, then we'll pop the link into. But I hope that helped, and I shall see you soon. Take care. Bye.